And there's Christie's size.
And what about your blood sugar?
Oh, blood sugar, also normal.
Also normal.
Yeah.
So you...
I'm like basically the healthiest fat guy you've ever seen in your life.
That brings us to our talkback question. Should Chris Christie be publicly shamed into losing weight? Christie has a message for former White House doctor Connie Mariano. He told her to shut up, and he called the good doctor a hack because she fears Christie will die in office.
My children saw that last night, and she sat there on TV and said, "I'm afraid he's going to die in office." I have 4 children between 9 and 19. You know, I have my children, my 12-year-old son comes to me last night and said, "Dad, are you going to die?" I mean, come on. This is irresponsible stuff.
Christie then shared his vital statistics, but Dr. Mariano, she did not back down.
You know, those may be his numbers. That's great. I congratulate him if those are his numbers. But when you see somebody, you don't have to be a doctor to look at him and realize that he has a problem with weight.
Still, public shaming, especially over your weight, never feels good. With me now to talk about this, Pete Dominic, Jason Johnson, and Amy Kremer. Pete, let's start with you. Christie actually started the conversation, didn't he, on David Letterman's show?
Yeah, but he's showing how good he is at self-deprecating, and that's an appealing, characteristic in anybody, much less a politician. I think that doctor is way out of line. But, I was a personal trainer for 7 years, Carol, so I understand, intimately how difficult it is to lose weight. And it could be anything from a thyroid issue to obviously genetics. I've got genetic hair loss, but the metabolism of a baby gazelle, so I'm lucky there. But on the other hand, Chris Christie is a role model of sorts, and so in many ways he could do better. It'd be great to see him on a treadmill on TV versus eating a donut, perhaps. So I can see it a lot of different ways, but I think that we Americans really struggle with this. We have a really big obesity epidemic. Sorry for the double entendre, and there's something we need to do that, especially because of the way it contributes to healthcare costs.
Yeah, but does a politician have to be a role model in every sense?
No. Well, but look at President Obama. I rest my case.
I don't know what that meant.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? I've battled my weight my whole life, and it's just, and sure as I get off here today, people will be attacking me on Twitter over my weight. It's like Pete said, you don't know what's going on. He could have a thyroid problem. I think it's off limits. Yes, he is a role model, and maybe it would be good to see him lose weight, but it is hard. It is very hard, and I don't think he should be attacked about it. Yes,
you're a role model too. Amy's a role model too. I disagree with everything on her, but I know what she did with her life. I know she raised 3 kids. She spent time working while raising those kids, and now she's a leader in her political movement, and I have great respect for that, and that's what we need to see, character and not, actual character.
Being fat doesn't mean he doesn't have character. And like I said, as somebody who spent an abusive hour with my trainer before coming here, I can talk about how difficult it is to maintain things. But here's the thing. The fact that we're talking about this, that's the problem. Not just because we're a judgmental society, because we are. We don't like voting for people who aren't pretty. We don't like voting for people who have facial hair. We don't like voting for women who are older. We're a sexist, terrible society, blah, blah, blah. But the fact of the matter is, unless he loses this weight, we're going to be talking about this and not about his policies. So if I were Chris Christie, I would be challenging Michelle Obama to push-ups. I'd be running laps around Cory Booker. I would be getting this off the table so that people can focus on his policies and not his waist size.
I would posture this. There are many prejudices when you see a person who is obese. You don't listen to them as much, you don't supposedly. Right, but Chris Christie is disproving all of those things about people who are overweight, and isn't that a good thing?
Well, and you know what? At the end of the day, if he's comfortable with himself, then that's really what matters. You have to be comfortable with yourself and in your own skin. It's not like he doesn't know he has a weight problem, and I think it's actually very good that he is willing to, laugh about it and joke about it. I think that's good. I think that, instead of going and crying about it, behind closed doors, I think it's good that he is comfortable with himself. And that says a lot.
Well, we don't care if somebody's comfortable. We care if somebody's fit. Look, Bill Clinton had to lose weight. Mike Huckabee lost weight. Barack Obama stopped smoking. That's why you saw him chewing the Nicorette gum during the inauguration. There are physical things that you have to do when you're running for president in order to present an image. And unfortunately, Chris Christie, he's got to fix this problem. Yes, it's judgmental, but the world's not fair, and he needs to do something about it fairly soon.
And that is a
I
good
think it's
point,
going to hold him back.
Because, I think it's going to hold him back too, because you want to know that your president is going to survive 4 years,
People make comments, remember? Remember, Carol, when we talked about John McCain's age? I mean, that came up. It was a realistic concern for people. Ronald Reagan, obviously. But yes, I think this is going to hold Chris Christie back if he does have further ambitions to be president of the United States, and I think we all know that he does. But it is out of line for, I think, someone like that doctor to diagnose, and we have a lot of these television shows and radio shows alike that diagnose people based on the way that they look. It's irresponsible, and doctors that know better wouldn't do that kind of thing. And, you know, but Chris Christie, again, I think he's a role model. I think he could do a lot. He doesn't have to, but I think he could do a lot to show people how hard he's trying to lose weight. But I also understand how much of a struggle it is. It's really, really difficult emotionally and obviously physically.
He was elected governor, though. I mean, would you have thought he would have been elected governor?
It's perfectly fine to be governor, but being governor is different from being. Look, you're running against a president who was in office who used to come out of the water like Bo Derek in Hawaii. Okay, that's what Americans want to see right now.
Right.
And if Chris Christie doesn't fix it, it's going to end up being a problem. It doesn't mean he's not competent.
He's the governor.
But the image matters.
But
This
what
is
if
the
he's running
thing.
against Hillary Clinton, whose age might matter?
Right. Oh, yeah,
right?
because sexism comes into play
so
as
what
well.
do you choose?
Oh, double standard.
Hillary Clinton's more qualified, so she ends up winning. I mean, if that's what it comes down to.
If this were a woman, it would be. I think it would be a lot worse. We'd be a lot more offended by that.
Yeah.
But you know, you make the point about him being a governor. There's only 50 governors in this country, and this guy's probably working 20 hours a day. I'm not making excuses for people not exercising, but a lot of us, like Amy and I, who have kids, it's sometimes really hard to find time to exercise and eat right when you want to have be more responsible and take care of your kids and take care of the rest of your life. He's the governor of New Jersey. He's a pretty busy guy.
Pete, I only have one child, but and I just wanted to clarify that. But I was going to say
Amy
exactly,
has 15 kids and lives in a shoe.
right. She's enough girl for everybody. But no, I was going to echo actually what Pete said about this. We wouldn't be having this conversation about a woman on TV. I mean, we would not be. So I think that says a lot,
Although there are many horrible things said about Hillary Clinton.
Exactly.
I got to wrap this up. Pete Dominic, Jason Johnson, Amy Kramer, many thanks for making the debut of the Expanded Talkback a fabulous success. We're going to read your responses to today's Talkback questions next.